life. Uh, so let me give a bit of background. So both these gentlemen, which my students are looking at now, uh, they've had a very successful career. One has been formerly with IIM Ahmedabad, and the other has been a student of IIM Indore. And that is what all our students are basically dreaming for, to be associated with institutions like these. And we'll try today to get your wisdom. So let's in fact let's start off with a small introduction, kind of a 30 seconds kind of introduction from each one of you, starting with you, so that my students would be aware that whom they are essentially talking to.
So good afternoon, students. I'm Dr. Raviraj Gohil, and I'm currently working with Shanti Business School. I'm the faculty in the area of finance. By education qualification, I did my BCom, then I did my PGDM, and then I worked with IIM Ahmedabad as an academic associate. And then I joined Shanti Business School. So I'm working with Shanti Business School since last 13 years. My area of specialization is finance. So I teach courses related to finance specialization. In addition to that, I also take care of the admission and placement efforts for my business school. Thank you. Prashant.
Yeah, good afternoon, participants. My name is Prashant Parikh, and I am associated with the Shanti Business School, SBS Ahmedabad, since last 5 years now. I started my career with a media brand, Dainik Bhaskar Group, and then ventured into academia. It's been 12, 13 years that I am in academics. So current association is as in the capacity of associate professor. My subjects are, I am a faculty in marketing specialization. And other than that, one core subject that is universal human values in management. So that's what I do.
Okay, so I'm actually on phone. So sometimes, phone comes up, so it might get, thanks a lot, both of you. So the agenda today is obviously about interviews. And both of you have been interviewing students for a long period of time, both here as well as other places. There's a very interesting topic, and we'll come to the topic itself, is that whom do you not select? Now, whatever is both of you, whatever your wisdom is, when you've been selecting students, or your fellow professors, they have been in fact selecting students. Share with me, each one of you, what ticks you off as far as a student is concerned. What is it you don't want to look at in a student? And then we will obviously go to the positive side of it.
Okay, Prashant, should I take that first?
Yeah, please.
So basically, when we go for the interview, there are some points which are obvious that students should avoid. So the first point that normally students don't take it seriously is the preparedness. Most of the time when they sit for the interview, they are not very sure about the business school that they are trying to apply for. They don't do their own self-assessment also. And sometimes they are not very clear about what they want to get out of the business school. What are the expectations that they have? Moreover, when we sit for an interview, we also look for whether their background, the technical understanding of what they have done in graduation is good or not. Because if you have not done justice in your graduation, it will be very difficult for you to do justice in your post-graduation also. Other than that, we also look for the personality and skill aspects, which we will be talking in the later webinar. And the most important thing that we look for is that how the student is fit to our college. Every college has its own mission, vision, and core strength. So compatibility with our business school is also one area that we look for. I have more points, but as we progress, I'm going to discuss that.
Yeah, sure. So,
Prashant?
Yeah, okay.
Would you like to take that up?
So the things which are actually I consider as negative points when it comes to conducting interviewing for B-school aspirants is number one, a clarity of purpose. So one of the common questions we ask is why you want to pursue MBA or PGDM. And most of them give answer, actually 80-90% of them give answers that we want to have a placement. We want to have a good company, good package. So this is the end result you are focusing on, but nobody talks about the process, that our learning mindset, the preparation which will undergo when you will enter in a B school, the kind of work you have to do. I think students should prepare for B school life first. The mindset should be of a learner mindset rather than when being asked that why you want to do MBA, they say placement or a good career. I mean, what is the meaning of a good career? Give a deep thought and do a self introspection that if you are spending your precious 2 years in this field, PGDM or MBA, going to different places, going to different B schools of the country, away from your home, you must have a clear vision what you are supposed to do. And the moment you have clarity of purpose, most of your problems will get resolved. You will be in a position to face the interview with more confidence. So that is the point. So have a clarity of purpose.
Okay, so taking from what you have answered, let's take up a student. What kind of answer would you expect if somebody says that I'm a commerce student or a BBA student and I'm interested in management, especially in finance, right? So what do you expect? I'm going reverse. If you were a student, what would you really answer? Like to be honest, I speak to my students. Everybody is looking at placements, and maybe I do not know. Both of you are professors. In my case, placement was always back in mind. There were other aspects for sure, but placement is something which is a reality. It just cannot go away. So, do you really get upset or angry, or is it like that if somebody talks only about placements, or is it like it's the truth? So, student is speaking the truth. Still, we get hurt if somebody says placements.
Okay, so since it's related to finance, I'll take that question.
Ah.
So I think when the student talks about placements, that's the final outcome of the program. So what we normally ask them is that to reach that placement destination, you have to go through something called a specialization. For a specialization, normally there is a concern from student. They always ask that which specialization has a scope, sir. So to that, our answer is that all specializations have scope. The scope will be only, available to you if you are compatible to that particular specialization. So going back to your question about BB and BCom students, they have that mindset that since we have learned accounting and finance in our graduation, finance will be an obvious, easy option. But just to give you an idea, finance is way beyond accounting. There are a lot of other things also which are part of finance. So if you're looking just based on your background, it doesn't actually suit the specialization purpose. Suppose you're talking about finance, I'll tell you, being a professor of finance, number one, you should be very good with number crunching. Math is something which is very important for finance specialization. Secondly, your data skills also be very good, because the idea is that whenever you're going for a financial statement analysis or financial analytics or valuation, you will be given a lot of data. So your ability to make the meaningful conclusion out of data is also very important. All finance students invariably have to be very good with spreadsheet, Excel. So that is also very important. One area which is not only limited to finance specialization, but it is common across all specialization is lack of awareness. So for example, suppose you're going for a finance specialization, you should be knowing certain terms which are common in context of finance. For example, what is top line? What is bottom line? What is fintech? What is blockchain? So general understanding of the terms where you are likely to work in an industry would be handy if you go for that specialization. And the most important part is that you should be realistic enough. Most of the time, with the problem with the finance student is that they perceive finance as a desk job. So majority of the students only opt for finance specialization if they don't want to do the sale. So it's like when I and Prashant talk, we jokingly say that you are taking finance because you don't want to do sales. So the logic has to be inductive, not deductive, that I don't like that particular specialization. That's why I'm going for a particular specialization. So whenever you opt for any specialization, first do a realistic assessment at what are the skills or competencies required if you want to get into that particular specialization. Rate yourself realistically on it. In case you lack, you can always improve. So the idea is that if you have passion towards a specialization and you're willing to work hard, definitely each specialization has something to offer. But it should not be merely done based on your graduation. Especially this accounting myth is very common among the finance student that, okay, what we did is accounting, so we'll be excelling in finance. So accounting is merely 20 or 15 to 20% of the entire finance gamut, right?
That's very nice. In fact, that was pretty comprehensive and very well, required for my students to really understand that whom should really start looking at finance. Do you also, in fact, either of you, if you can throw some light on the fact that if somebody is a non-commerce, a non-BBA student and is looking at finance, what competencies they should start looking at from now itself, so that when they go there, they start feeling comfortable when they join a business school?
Okay, so in case of finance, the main problem that we have observed so far during our teaching experiences is that the people who come from non-accounting background, they have a phobia about accounting. That, okay, we don't know accounting and we don't have a scope in it. So the idea is that some amount of prior courses, a preparatory course, which we also offer, but if they want to get into finance, some amount of understanding of finance and economics has to be there. Since you're talking about a non-technical, non-finance background, they must not have studied during their graduation also. Yeah. So one way to prepare yourself is nowadays there are a lot of courses available. So they can go for preparatory courses in accounting and finance and economics, and they should get a working understanding, right? My experience with non-technical background student is also pretty good. So from our school, engineers have also scored gold medal in finance. So bottom line is very simple, that your numbers, your maths, your analytical skills, right, and your data skill will be a key factor, whether you are from a commerce background or a non-commerce background. Yes, being a commerce background student, you have edge over non-commerce background because you have studied certain subjects in your graduation, right? But somebody who has not studied can also take it up if they put extra effort. So normally what happens is that all business school have a tendency to have remedial classes or preparatory classes for students who are not from technical background. So students can start from that and build it up. But ultimately, you don't have to live with that kind of phobia that, okay, since we are not from a technical background, we will not be able to excel. Ultimately, your mindset, openness, adaptability is a bigger key compared to your background.
Another question which was there in my mind is about the place of the business school. Sometimes, there are people who have in mind that I have to study in Bangalore. Not necessarily I am Bangalore, but Bangalore is the destination. Pune is the destination. Mumbai sometimes, not always. And NCR is also a destination. Ahmedabad is not a destination, right? Normally people don't say here in Bihar, I want to study in Ahmedabad. So what you have to say, like, is the place makes a difference, or what is your opinion? And I would like opinion of both of you. First, Dr. Raviraj, since you are here on the screen.
Okay. So I think if talking about Ahmedabad, I think on a lighter note, I'll start that IIM Ahmedabad is also in Ahmedabad. So should not be a problem. But just to give an idea, why Ahmedabad should be a good destination. So number one, when you are in a business school, you would definitely like to learn from a city which has developed a business acumen. So if you talk about Gujarat, Gujarat has a rich heritage and culture of business acumen. People here are more towards business. So number one is that you will get that kind of exposure and mindset. Secondly, Ahmedabad has a lot of industries where the students are likely to get a hands-on experience. So Ahmedabad is known for textile, Ahmedabad is known for pharma. We also have Gift City, which is in Gandhinagar, which is Gujarat International Finance and Tech Center, which is the ambitious project of right? So there are a lot of companies in finance have came. So one of the key things that students are normally looking during their MBA program, and why do they choose Metro, is that hands-on experience and industry interface that they are looking for. So now Ahmedabad also has that opportunity. So a lot of hands-on internship opportunities are also available. Secondly, if you talk about the vibrant culture that Ahmedabad has. So being in Gujarat, it's not limited to Ahmedabad. The people here are more accommodative. People here are more pleasant, and you get lot of non-understanding of business. For example, if you go anywhere in Gujarat, people will be talking about stock market. So as a business school student, if you would like to expose yourself to a city which has a full rich heritage and people respect making money. So what we say that Gujarat and Rajasthan are two states where making money is respected more, and it is not considered as a taboo. People always talk about money. So that area could also be a concern, right?
So in fact, coming back to the interview part, in fact, from both of you, starting for Dr. Prashant, Uh, I would like your opinion. Like, what are the do's and don'ts finally would really ask a student to be prepared for any kind of interview, business school interview?
For any kind of business school interview, the do's are first and foremost, thoroughly go through the sources, literature of that business school, prospectus, brochure, website, faculty profile, the specializations they offer, the extracurricular and co-curricular activities they organize, number one. And of course, as we discussed, you just mentioned earlier that placement is the bottom line. Placement is always at the back of the mind. So go through the kind of organizations, visiting the B school for placements and summer internship. So first and foremost is do your homework properly. Don't go in the interview with a rigid mindset. Go with a flexible and learner's mindset. Sometimes I have observed students that when we ask them what specialization is in your mind, they come that sir देखेंगे अभी तो admission हो जाएगा उसके बाद देखेंगे. I mean, this shows the lack of interest. Either you have been pushed, किसी ने धक्का मार दिया है, या आप देखा देखी में you have come to for interview. That will not work. If you are a B school MBA PGDM aspirant, do your homework thoroughly first. Have a clarity of purpose, मुझे किस direction में जाना है, and then apply for the selection process of that business school. That matters a lot.
In fact, thanks a lot. I would just like to share with you a very interesting phenomenon. You talked about get to know about faculties. So I had a student who did a lot of research about a college, and I'm talking about, in fact, IIM, and he researched about faculties. He got in touch with the faculties roughly 2 years before he attempted CAT, and he was in touch on LinkedIn. He used to like, and he also got a project done with him, a small project done online with him. And can you believe this? In the interview board of not IIM, of some other interview IIMs, when he was talking to them, he said that I have done it with this prof. And both of them turned out to be really good friends. And the entire conversation went around that, okay, what are the things he went? And he was selected in that college. So the whole interview was, so that's a brilliant point you mentioned. People do not give too much of value of faculty interaction and trying to know, which is very much prevalent in Western countries, where they get to know and they join a faculty. Instead of a college, they actually join for that particular faculty. And they have done deep research about what kind of faculties are there. That culture is not there. So that was, a wonderful point. I'm sure, my students hearing would be really get in touch with faculties wherever they really want to badly go. Who knows how things would move in future. What about you, Dr. Raviraj? Like, what are your do's and don'ts in terms of interview?
So professional areas are already covered by Prashant. On a personality side, we look for certain traits. For example, we look for a genuine curiosity about the program. So when we, interview the students, we always ask that, did you research? What are you looking out of? Sometimes what we observe that student does not have any kind of clear idea what he wants to do within MBA and after MBA. So genuine curiosity is one area where we feel that student needs to work. Second is about the attitude. So sometimes we feel that students, when they come for an interview, they carry that unnecessary arrogance and attitude. And sometimes students are pretty docile. So we have both categories of students. What we are looking for is the genuine confidence without arrogance. That's one area. And we also look for students in terms of their coachability, that if we take them, whether he would be coachable or not. And that directly connects with the adaptability and openness to learn. So nowadays, what happens is that whenever they go out and work in an organization, it will be VUCA, VUCA kind of a workplace or VUCA kind of a world, right? So volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So if they are adaptable, if they can quickly, adapt to the new situation, it could be a good area. Other than that, strong communication is also one area where majority of the students lack. So it has to be a very clear answer, what they are answering. His answer should be logical and well-structured also. So on the personality aspect, these are some of the things that we look for.
In fact, it was a wonderful discussion with both of you. Really thankful. And I invite both of you to Patna. At least my economics part, I'm looking for someone who can really explain to them all these monetary policy and fiscal policy. And, you know, I keep telling that I'm searching for a faculty. So why not both of you visit Patna someday? Today, it is obviously, you know, we had a wonderful discussion on this. And I must truly say that they are going to gain out of both of yours experience and what you have said. Really, really thankful to you and a lot of good wishes to you, both of you, from our student side also and from IMS community as such. Thanks a lot for joining. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having us.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.